So this is actually our third time back to Mexico City. We just keep coming back. I don't know. There's so much of Mexico to see, but we keep returning to Mexico City. It is so huge and so diverse, and there's so much to do. And number two, we just love it. I don't know what it is about the city, but we love it so much. Of all of the major attractions in Mexico City, I would say we've done almost everything except the hot air balloons.
That's why in this video we're gonna be showing you the 7 things that we believe you should do in Mexico City. The historic center in Mexico City, or Centro Histórico, it's what we believe you should be visiting on the first day of your trip.
Yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming. There's always thousands of people there, but you cannot go to Mexico City and not visit Centro Histórico. All of those iconic buildings, like this one, for example, we actually took this photo there. You're going to find all of those buildings in the Centro Histórico.
And one of the buildings that you should be visiting is the Torre Latino, which is one of the highest skyscrapers in the city, which will give you a huge picture of what the city looks like.
And aside from the Torre Latino, you have to go see Bellas Artes. You're going to get a beautiful view of it from Torre Latino, but you just have to go up close and see it. It is so intricate, so beautiful. It's my favorite building in Mexico City. It's absolutely stunning.
To get possibly the best view of Bellas Artes, you will want to head to the top floor of the Sears building, where you can enjoy a nice coffee from Don Porfirio, which just so happens to overlook Bellas Artes and Banco de Mexico.
And since you're spending the whole day here, you won't want to miss stopping by the famous Zócalo, where the President of Mexico hosts El Grito each year. While you're here, head to the Mexico City Metropolitan Cathedral, where you'll find people dressed in Aztec gear, offering traditional cleansing for a voluntary donation. And if you're lucky, you may even catch them performing.
There are so many other things to see and do in Centro Histórico. You could easily spend the entire day there, but if you are on a bit of a time crunch, the Palacio de las Bellas Artes and Torre Latino are the two must-sees in that area. Another spot that you absolutely have to see if you're in Mexico City is Chapultepec Park. Chapultepec Park is the biggest urban park in all of the Americas. I'm talking Canada to Argentina. Argentina is the most southern point, right?
I believe.
Yes, huge. Even bigger than Central Park in New York. It's very, very beautiful. There is so much to see and do there.
And it's something that you cannot miss while you are in this park is visiting the castle, or the Chapultepec Castle. It is absolutely gorgeous. They have so much history inside. They still keep some of the ornaments, or like...
Yeah, I mean, it's a museum.
Yeah, it's a museum nowadays, and it's totally worth it.
Yes, you get gorgeous views from the castle as well, by the way. You can see the Angel of Independence, you can see the Ritz-Carlton. Speaking of the Ritz-Carlton, this is just a little added bonus. We were so fortunate this year to go and have breakfast at the Ritz-Carlton, which is just right on the perimeter of Chapultepec Castle, and the restaurant is on the 38th floor. And you get the most phenomenal view, not just of Chapultepec Park, but of the entire city. Plus, I mean, it's the Ritz. I mean, there's not much to say about that. Like, the Ritz is the Ritz. It was a phenomenal experience.
I think it's the building where you can have the best view
of Mexico City. But specifically Chapultepec Park.
As we already mentioned, Chapultepec Park is huge, so you could easily spend an entire afternoon here. You'll find tons of street vendors lying down the pathway selling hot food, snacks, and other little odds and ends. By the way, you don't want to miss out on Dorilocos. They are strange but also kind of delicious. You'll find the CDMX letter sign just along the Lago de Chapultepec, which makes for a great souvenir, so don't miss out on that.
Something that we did last time we came to Mexico City was going on the Touri bus, which is like a hop-on, hop-off bus. It actually gives you a very good idea of the city, because you go all around the main sightseeing, monuments, and all of the important parts of the city.
I think it gives you such an awesome idea of the city. You've also got different routes that you can choose from. So you can do the Centro Histórico route if you don't want to do all that walking, because there can be a lot of walking involved in your trip to Mexico City. But if you want to cut down on that walking and you want to be able to see more in less time and with less energy, the Touri bus is such a great option for that. Plus, it's super affordable.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for the Touri bus, we're linking all of the tours that we're recommending. You'll find them down below.
In addition to the Centro Histórico circuit, we'd also highly recommend hopping onto the Polanco circuit, which will take you through some of the most exclusive parts of Mexico City, like Avenida Mazarik, which is often referred to as the Rodeo Drive of Latin America. One stop you cannot miss is Museo Soumaya, which houses more than 30 centuries of art, coins, and artifacts. We're not usually big on museums, but this one was fun to roam around. Plus, entrance is free. So we're just taking a quick moment to shout out our own product, one we've put a ton of love and effort into, the 9-day Mexico City itinerary and map. From personal experience, we know how overwhelming it can be to plan a trip to Mexico City given its size and its diversity. That's why we made this easy to use itinerary and map.
We have done all of the research so you don't have to, curating the ultimate itinerary to help you explore the city without the stress of planning or second guessing. What you'll get is a step-by-step itinerary where every day is thoughtfully planned to maximize your experience, from must-see sites to hidden gems to delicious cuisine.
No, you gotta stay for the whole advert, senor. A coordinated Google map where every location on the itinerary links directly to the Google map, which means no more getting lost or wasting time. And essential travel tips which will help you avoid common pitfalls and give you all the insight needed to ensure that your trip is smooth and stress-free.
On top of all of that, the map and itinerary are both accessible offline, making it usable even without Wi-Fi. With this itinerary, you'll spend less time planning and more time soaking up the energy, the beauty, and culture of Mexico City.
You can get the 9-day Mexico City itinerary and map as well as other guides on fortheroadtravels.com. Plus, when you buy our guides, you are directly supporting our channel and helping us to share more of Mexico with you.
If you've done any of your Mexico City research over on Instagram, there is not a shadow of a doubt that a lot of the very aesthetic, beautiful like cafes and restaurants and parks and stuff will be found in the fancy areas of Mexico City, aka Condensa and Roma, which are neighboring neighborhoods. They're the upscale fancy neighborhoods of the city. They're so beautiful. You're not going to find another part of the city with so many trees, so much greenery, so many dogs. Both of those are very affluent communities.
Yeah, I think it's where you also find most of the foreigners, immigrants living here in Mexico City.
Also, you're going to find our favorite park in the whole city. It's called Parque Mexico. So gorgeous, it's so quiet, so beautiful, so green. You're going to find the most beautiful dogs. All of the fancy people come with their fancy dogs. It's so much fun.
It's a designated dog park area.
Yeah, but there's so many dogs. On the weekends, you would want to be over there for the vendors. There's artisanal vendors that come over on the weekend, but as far as I've heard, Sunday is the best day to go for that. Yeah, you don't want to miss Roma and Condensa if you're looking for those very trendy, beautiful aesthetic Insta shots.
This time around, we ended up booking into a cozy Airbnb in the heart of Roma called La Puerta Roja. It was pretty cool and the perfect spot to stay if you're on a bit of a budget. And just across the road was Mercado Roma, which is a trendy international food market where you'll find cuisine from all over the world. We went there on 2 separate occasions and got Paraguayan empanadas, which were crunchy and delicious, and a chicken tikka masala that absolutely blew our minds. And it was prepared by a lovely Nepalese couple.
I think this was my bucket list thing that I wanted to do with Simone, which was going to the Lucha Libre or the wrestling in Mexico City. And I had so much time. I had so much fun during this tour, but my experience of taking care of something that is very authentically Mexico, it's one of the things that I already crossed or checked on my bucket list.
Yes, La Lucha Libre is so iconic for Mexico, and I can't believe it's taken us 4 years to see a Lucha Libre match. Would you call it a match? A game? I don't know, I'm not really into sports. What?
Pelea.
The thing about Lucha Libre is you can go and do it by yourself. You can figure out how to get to the arena by yourself. You can buy the tickets there and watch the full game. But what we actually did instead, which I think is the optimal choice, is we went on a guided tour. Our 2 tour guides, Martin and I'm sorry we're forgetting the other man's name. They were fabulous. They were so passionate about Lucha Libre. We had tacos. We moved on to another restaurant where we learned about mezcal, and then they actually taught us about La Lucha Libre, which is something that we wouldn't have gotten if we just went to the arena by ourselves.
Soy octagon.
And then we showed up to the arena late on purpose to just watch the last 3 major matches, because as our tour guides were explaining, if you go and sit through the whole thing, it can be kind of boring. And the night that we actually ended up going ended up being the female
the
world championship or something like that.
Women's,
I didn't even know that female Lucha Libre was a thing. But anyways, it was such a good time. Again, that tour is linked below if you're interested. So you might be wondering where we currently are because the view behind us is just so gorgeous. Well, that brings us to the next thing on our list. And while this is not technically in Mexico City, it's just 2 hours outside of Mexico City. If you've got an extended vacation, we'd highly recommend planning to visit Valle de Bravo, which is a tiny little pueblito in the mountains, absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
And the reason why we're recommending coming to Valle de Bravo is if you're really looking for like that authentic Mexican culture, you know, you really want to come to like the very local markets and see how like the locals of the small towns of Mexico live, Valle de Bravo is the perfect place for that. And it's so peaceful. I mean, Mexico City is a lot. And there's a lot of sounds, a lot of traffic, a lot of people.
Beautiful.
But just 2 hours down the road, you've got this, which is just like a little slice of paradise.
That being said, usually takes 2 hours to get here.
Via bus.
Something that I did actually was my mistake, is booking the wrong bus. I choose the one that makes like 14 stops or even more, I can't remember how many, and it took about 4 hours, 4 hours and 15.
4 painful hours. So make sure when you book your bus ticket, the trip is only 2 hours, and you'll know that by obviously checking the time, but you want to look for Excelencia.
Excelencia or Excelencia Plus?
Plus.
Plus.
Yes.
And while you are in Valle de Bravo, you've got to head to the Mercado Municipal for some local and affordable breakfast. We got tamales and chilaquiles, which were both delicious. We also loved just strolling down the beautiful cobblestone streets. As you can see, the town is super aesthetic and photo friendly no matter where you go. You'll also want to make sure to hop on the choo-choo train, which only costs around $5 per person. The train will take you on a 1.5 hour ride through Valle de Bravo and the neighboring town of Avándaro. You'll also get to see the waterfalls and the homes of the big-name Mexican celebrities.
But the most important thing when visiting this cute Pueblo Mágico is to be sure to book a nice place to stay. We stayed in Hotel Boutique Casa Chichipicas, and spending time in the heated pool overlooking the town below was one of our favorite things about our trip.
Again, if you've spent any amount of time on TikTok or Instagram searching what to do in Mexico City, there is not a shadow of a doubt that you've seen those bright, colorful, what do you call them? Rafts, boats, cruising down the canals.
We call them trajineras.
Trajineras, yeah. So Xochimilco. Xochimilco is an absolute must-see when you're in Mexico City. There's so many ways to see it and to do it. But essentially Xochimilco it used to be a means of transportation hundreds of years ago. The Aztec Empire actually used to use these very canals to transport food, commodities. But nowadays the canals and the trajineras, which are the colorful boats, are used as like a leisure activity. So you'll not only find tourists in Xochimilco, you'll actually mostly find locals of Mexico City in Xochimilco celebrating birthdays, anniversaries,
15
años,
or whatever. It can be Teacher's Day and they're gonna go and celebrate because it's Mexico is about a fiesta most of the time.
Exactly.
If you go and do this tour by yourself, we highly recommend to go to this particular embarcadero or port. If you do it by your own, this is the best one that you have to go, as the other ones can be a little bit sketchy with the tourist.
Yes. Otherwise, you can just go on a tour, which might be the best option for you because it can be a bit of a mission to get to Xochimilco. It's about 45 minutes outside of the city. So if you're a bit apprehensive of using public transportation or the metro or having to
navigate yourself,
or having to purchase your tickets if your Spanish is not that good, there are so many tours that you can take. We'd recommend to just find a tour. We've linked the one that we went on down below. It was absolutely fabulous.
or you can watch the video. We're gonna link as well here because we actually did it by ourselves a couple of years ago.
Yes, we've been back to Xochimilco 3 times now.
That's true.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Definitely worth it.
While you're in Xochimilco, you can shop for souvenirs and flower crowns while you're cruising down the canals. You'll also be able to buy hot food and alcohol. One time we went, Giovanni got a michelada, which is a very popular beer cocktail commonly found in Mexico, but he ended up getting food poisoning from it, so just proceed with caution. You can also take your own snacks and drinks along and pay for private mariachi performances.
This is Giovanni's favorite part of the video, talking about all the things that you need to eat when you're in Mexico City. Now, it is impossible for us to tell you absolutely every single restaurant you need to go to, absolutely everything that you need to eat. So we've just chosen 5 of our favorite things that we think are definitely worthwhile.
It's very important also that you get to eat those things as part of the cultural experience.
Exactly. And number 1 would be the churros at Churreria El Moro. Did I say that right?
Churreria El Moro.
Exactly.
Right who say it better.
Churreria El Moro.
Churreria El Moro.
Basically, a churro is like a deep fried dough, and then it comes out of the oil hot, and they roll it in cinnamon and sugar. Typically, it's served with a hot chocolate on the side to dip it. Churreria El Moro is super popular, super well known. There are multiple branches all over the city. Highly recommend stopping in there. We've been back multiple times, and the churros never disappoint. They're always incredible.
We actually like the branches across Parque Mexico in Condensa area,
So
just because
pretty.
it's just pretty, it's quieter. We just like it.
Yeah, very good.
Out of this list, this is the one that you have to try. Is tacos de pastor.
Any restaurant that serves tacos, or any street stand that serves tacos, is pretty much going to serve taco de pastor, and you'll know that it's taco de pastor when you see the trompo, which is the stack of meat that is being cooked by the fire. Usually it's got a bit of like a red color, and the key element to look for is a pineapple sitting on top, because your tacos will be served with that grilled pineapple, which is incredible.
The meat is pork.
We went to a restaurant, which we'll put the name to here. They served incredible tacos. You got 5 tacos for 60 pesos, which is a deal. But we are just visitors to Mexico City. If you're a local to Mexico City and you know where to get the legit best taco de pastor, please let us know in the comments. We can't say that we know, because we're just tourists and there are thousands of restaurants in the city. So, Dori locos, Dori locos, Dori locos. So this next thing is not necessarily a culinary delight. It's actually probably one of the strangest things that you'll eat in Mexico City. But it's just the fact of eating it to try it, you know, to scratch that itch of curiosity. Dori locos are mostly served in Chapultepec Park. Basically what it is you select your bag of Doritos, whichever flavor you want. We love the black bag. It's called Incognito. That's the flavor. They open it up, and every vendor does it slightly differently, but then they'll just start adding the most weird and wonderful toppings you can think of. Usually you'll have carrots. What's the other vegetable that they put in there? Jicama, sometimes cucumber, gummy bears, tajín, which is like a chili powder, Valentina, which is a spicy sauce. Every vendor does it. Peanuts. Every vendor does it differently. It's like the strangest salad that you'll ever eat in your life, but it's just something so authentically Mexico City that you've just got to give it a try. This next item on our list, Giovanni is going to do the honors of talking about, because one time he got one of these and he got horribly sick, but that was just an anomaly. I don't know how to say that word. That was just
case.
That was just an extraordinary event. The vendor must have had expired products or something. But take it away. What do they need to try?
They need to try micheladas. This is a drink. It's a beer with some mix of sauces that you need to try. So the sauces are W sauce, jugo Maggi, Tabasco sauce, and chili powder.
Yes, and they also, every vendor adds a whole lot of stuff. They usually put tahini around the edge, which is chili powder. Sometimes
and chamoy.
they put chamoy, which is like a sweet, I don't know.
I think the chamoy made my stomach sick last night.
Probably. I don't drink beer, so I think micheladas are absolutely horrendous. But I mean, Mexicans love them. They're very authentically Mexican, and they're not specifically Mexico City. You'll find them all over Mexico, but you've got to give them a try, especially if you're in Xochimilco.
Oh yes, they're like the signature drink there.
Of Xochimilco, yeah. So this next item I think is so delicious. It's also very authentically Mexico City, and it's called pozole. It's a type of soup. It's a very liquidy soup, very flavorful. It's got lettuce in there. You've got, I'm not sure what these things are called, but it's kind of like corn kernels, but they're very big.
We call them maíz pozolero, which is pozole corn.
Corn specifically for pozole. You can find pozole in an infinite amount of restaurants here in Mexico City, but we specifically went to Casa de Toño.
La Casa de Toño, yeah.
See? Which is a chain restaurant here in Mexico, and the pozole that we had there was delicious. It was so good. Not as good as our family friend's mom's pozole, Doña Carmen. If you're watching this, your pozole is the best in all of Mexico City. But yeah, if you're looking for pozole, any restaurant will do, but Casa de Toño, amazing. So we hope that we helped you plan your trip to Mexico City. There are so many things to do in the city. We have just barely scratched the surface of what is actually available to do in Mexico City, but we hope you have a great time. Don't forget, if you are looking for more information, more resources, there are so many things that we've put together. You'll find everything down below, from free itineraries, blog posts, more informative YouTube videos. You'll find it all below.
If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed to our channel, and that being said, we'll see you in the next episode.
Hasta luego.
Join us in the next episode where we share what it's like at the cheapest all-inclusive in Cancun.
There's literally someone's hair here, which makes me think that these sheets have not been changed.